Hello, hello, and happy Wednesday. So good to see you today. I'm Laura Morlando, the Stress Commando, and I'm so excited for this episode of Networking Know How. If this is your first time here, it's good to meet you. Get up and chat, say hello. I'm the founder and CEO of Down and Dirty Networking, and every Wednesday afternoon, sometime between 3:30 and 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, I come on to talk about a topic to help you network more stress free and, more importantly, increase the meaningfulness of networking to where you can actually enjoy it and have fun like we do in our Down and Dirty Networking online community. And today I've got a really great topic. It's how to co-elevate. Now, many of you might like the sound of the word co-elevate. Maybe you've never heard it before. No worries. I'm going to break it all down for you. I'm going to tell you not only what it is, how to do it, but more importantly, why should you care? Because that's what's really important. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So get up in chat. I see a couple people watching live. I'm going to make sure I've got chat visible so I can see where you're watching from. So awesome for that. I'm going to go ahead and share this over to our page. Make sure that everybody is able to see us both on my profile and on Down and Dirty Networking's LinkedIn page. So I'm going to share that over there real quick. And you can see I can't do two things at once. All right, so it's been shared. So let's dive into it. How do you co-elevate? So first off, let's break down what co-elevate really is. So co-elevate is a mindset shift, first and foremost. Instead of focusing on looking at things transactionally, which is typical of traditional networking, you're going to want to really shift your mindset into more of a relational networking mindset. And so, how to co-elevate is actually tip number one. You want to engage in relational networking and really adopt a relational networking mindset. So, what exactly does that mean? So, in traditional networking, it's more transactional. You're looking for a one-way conversation. You're looking for a way to sell something, get a lead, referral, job offer, promotion. It's all about what you can get. So, it's very much a one-way conversation. Whereas when you're looking at relational networking, which is what we call it here in Down and Dirty Networking, and our definition of that is to have a meaningful conversation, to learn from someone and about someone, to build lasting and authentic relationships. Doesn't that sound a whole lot more fun? So when you're engaging in relational networking, you're looking at a two-way conversation. You're really curious about what you can learn about and from the person that you're talking to. Even if you're in a group setting or at an event, you're really basically a super sleuth. You're very, very curious what you can learn from them. So the number one tip to co-elevate is to focus on relational networking. And that also explains what co-elevate is. I think I forgot to tell you that, but no. So here's the thing. When you're in transactional networking and you're focused on what leads or what you can get from somebody, you're looking for the win. Where's the win for me? Now, you might be able to figure out a win for them, and you've heard of the win-win strategies. And those are still okay words, depending on what circle you're in. A lot of people say that's an outdated mentality. Well, when you're over in relational networking and you're focused on being someone who would co-elevate. Now, co-elevate is one of the C's of our mission statement. And so co-elevate means I'm not looking for the transaction. I'm looking for the win. I'm looking to raise both of us up in this conversation. And so that leads me to number two. You want to show up powerfully and positively. Powerfully and positively. And so what that means is when you, even before you get into a conversation with somebody, or if you're going to an event, even before you walk into that event, you want to do whatever you can to power up. Think through how you're going to help somebody. What kind of energy do you want back? Do you want powerful and positive energy, or do you want negative or nervous energy? I don't know about you, but in large groups as an introvert, I will get nervous, but I prefer to have back more of a powerful energy. So what you show up with is what you will get back. Think about it. Have you ever been around somebody who is just really down. And then all of a sudden, after a little bit of talking to them, you kind of feel really down too. And you're kind of mirroring them. Or the reverse, when you're around somebody that has a great energy and you're like, oh my gosh, your vibrational energy is through the roof, that energy becomes contagious as well. So, which type of energy do you want? Then show up with that energy. For me, it's all about vibrational energy. And at Down and Dirty Networking, with every monthly event that we have with our members, the goal in every event is to raise everyone's vibrational energy. That is how you co elevate. And if I show up with really powerful vibrational energy and I can raise everybody else's, then everybody in the room with the event, that is what co-elevate is. And you can co-elevate with thought, you can co-elevate with energy, with resources, ideas. It can be with anything. It's no longer limited to the win of a transaction that you would normally do in traditional networking, like that win-win. So co-elevate actually is more of a limitless type of concept because it could be anything. So to kind of recap, step one, you're going to focus on relational networking by adopting a relational networking mindset. And then step two, you're going to show up powerfully and positively so that your energy walking into a conversation is contagious and worth catching. Number three, you're going to talk less, question more. This is one of our core values here at Down and Dirty Networking. And if you've watched a couple of times, I see a couple of people watching live. If you've tuned in, you've heard us leverage this one and talk about this one because it's so important. Instead of being worried about what to say and memorizing a pitch, it's so much more powerful to ask open ended questions. And let me tell you, how are you is not a question. Go deeper. And you want to think of that super sleuth that I talked about earlier. When you're trying to learn from and about someone, ask them open ended questions. And we've shared on past episodes what are some really great questions that you can ask. So make sure you go back and watch some of our past episodes, or you can check our YouTube channel. We have curated playlists there. But one of my favorite questions actually comes from speaker Amanda Gore, and it's, what's the best thing that's happened to you recently? This question is universally awesome because it doesn't matter if you're talking to someone for the first time or re-engaging after a long time, or you haven't seen someone in 24 hours or even a week. This question absolutely works. What's been the best thing that's happened to you recently? Or you can adjust the ending and say, what's been the best thing that's happened to you since we spoke last week? You can limit the time frame. But this question's a little bit deeper. And then whatever they say, you're not going to be thinking of what to say next. You're going to actually listen, and you're going to make sure that you are curious and ask follow-up questions. And those follow-up questions leads us to number four, where you're going to provide value, support, or help. And if they had something really great happen to them, you could support them by cheering them on, really being excited for the win and acknowledging. I find so often when I ask this question, people are like, oh, well, I don't know. I was speaking on a summit last week, so I guess that's the best thing. Or I really don't have a best thing, but I'm really happy that my kids are back in school, or whatever the thing is. But they're saying it's so ho hum. They're kind of minimizing the thing. And sometimes the best way you can pour into someone is reflect back why that is an actually awesome thing. And so you can say, oh my gosh, no, it's got to be really great to have your kids back in school. Or, oh my gosh, it's got to be really great. Congratulations on the summit. Tell me more. How did you get it? What did you talk about? And get people really engaged at that level. You're going to do two things when you lean into the question. Number one, you're providing that support, you're providing that value, because if they're coming to the table with that kind of ho hum energy, they really needed you to shine that light on them. And they'll start telling you what's going on, and maybe you'll learn something and go, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I needed to hear. What I have found is when you really lean into this, you co-elevate the conversation, you co-elevate the energy, you co-elevate the exchange of ideas, value, help, and support. It becomes a much more meaningful conversation than anything you could have really imagined. And at the end of the day, when I talk to people about networking, generally, when they're thinking of it, they're thinking of the traditional, more transactional sense. And most people are like, oh, or they'll tell me it's all about relationships, but their default setting is to pitch or pitch slap, as I like to hear from one of my friends that taught me that phrase. I'm like, oh my God, that's exactly what happens where it's just pitch, pitch. They're just pitch slapping you. They don't come up for air. And they don't even ask you a question that's not about something to set you up to be sold. They don't even really seem to care about you or what's going on. And therefore, it's not meaningful. And it totally tanks your vibrational energy. There is zero win win generally in those situations. And you're not co elevating at all. You're absolutely probably tanking energy levels and reputational capital all at the same time. See, when you lean in and leverage these 4 steps, so you embrace relational networking, you show up powerfully and positively, you talk less, question more, and you provide support, value, and help. When you lean into these 4 steps, at the end of the conversation, not only have you co elevated yourself and them, everyone's raised. Their ideas, their support, the conversation, everything's raised up, even the vibrational energy. But here's the additional byproduct and why you should care, because I promised you I would tell you that you will have an increased relational capital with the person that you were talking to and increased reputational capital. See, reputational capital is the one thing you have 100% control over. If I showed up that way, that's the first time we're connecting. Don't you think my reputational capital, the way that you would think of me, would probably be going through the roof? So that when I reconnect with you to follow up, you're gonna be, oh, yeah, you're gonna probably make time for me because I showed up with a reputation of co-elevating. You walked away feeling amazing. You got supported, you got valued. I actually cared and asked questions. And so then the relational capital continues to go up. So that should I ever need assistance for something and I call like this with a quickness, you're right there. Now, if you missed last week's episode, I would strongly advise you go back and check it out. I had a guest, Brenda Warren, and we talked a little bit about this. Brenda has total access to me. She has penthouse access to me. And it's because we followed these very simple steps. From day one, we were co elevating each other. I loved her thought processes and her energies, and it was pouring into me value, support, help. It was a two-way conversation. And she did this from day one, and it has been consistent ever since. So, this is why you should care. It elevates you, it elevates whoever you're talking to, hence the word co elevate. Makes things more fun. Who doesn't need more fun, more vibrational energy, and more meaningfulness? If you don't believe that this can bring you opportunities, go watch that episode with Brenda and I, because that's exactly what we talk about. Without looking for an opportunity, without pitching an opportunity, they will come when you are leaning in this way. It's a very powerful way. So get up and chat. Let me know what you think. Or is there a step that maybe I'm missing here? It's why in our mission statement for Down and Dirty Networking, co-elevate is one of the first C's. We want you to co-elevate, collaborate, and connect, because we believe the co-elevate is the very first thing that you have to do. It's how you show up in the room. It's how you show up online. It's how you show up even with the energy and a message on a social media platform. You can feel somebody's energy. You can feel somebody's smile in the way that they rate. When they take the time to be thoughtful in that manner, it totally changes the game. And so when you co-elevate, then it leads to collaboration of thought and collaboration of ideas and resources. And then more, you're being co-elevated through that discussion and that collaboration. It could lead to an actual collaboration like what Brenda and I did and what we are planning on doing coming up. So teaser alert. But then you connect. In my opinion, and what we believe here in Down and Dirty Networking, it's when you co-elevate, collaborate, that you truly connect. A connection is not exchanging business cards or getting a lead or, hey, I've got her information and I'm going to put her on blast and pitch slap. That's not a connection. That's having contact information. And I may or may not pay attention to that pitch slap. But a connection requires conversation. And a conversation can be either transactional or it can be relational. It could be more of a chore and a pitch slap, or it can be meaningful. And for it to be meaningful, I encourage you to focus on the word co-elevate and leveraging those 4 steps. So just to recap, number 1, you're going to engage and focus on relational networking. Number 2, you're going to show up powerfully and positively. Number 3, you're going to talk less and question more. And number 4, you're going to provide value, support, and help however you can. And you're going to be a super sleuth to figure all of that out. So thank you for those who are still watching here live. And if you're watching this on replay, thank you too. I appreciate you for being here. And let me know what you think of this concept, Coelevate. Drop into the comments, regardless of what platform you're on, whether you're on LinkedIn, Facebook, or if you're watching on YouTube. Let us know what you think of this concept. And also, what additional things would you add? Would you, or do you think we've got it covered? Would love your takeaway feedback. Let's continue this conversation, co-elevate each other through this, because I'd really like to hear what you guys have to say. I love getting this kind of feedback from our members inside our community. We discuss this often, and continue to broaden what this definition and the experience of co-elevate really is. So, hope this was helpful. If you would like more tips, please make sure you have liked our LinkedIn and our Facebook page. So, look for Down and Dirty Networking's Facebook and LinkedIn page where we have articles. We've got a really great article dropping tomorrow, actually. And we've got different tips and to help you network more stress free, things that you can use, whether you're an entrepreneur, professional, or whatever stage of your career you're in. Also, check out our YouTube page. So, check out Down and Dirty Networking on our YouTube channel, not page channel, but Down and Dirty Networking on our YouTube channel. We have curated playlists, like I mentioned earlier, of all different networking videos, tips, so that you can really engage in a more meaningful and more fun networking than what you might be used to. So I feel like this is a way for you to have a professional easy button to get off that island of alone and to shorten your runways to success and fulfillment. Because believe me, it is available to you when you engage in relational networking. So stay tuned. Check out the YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook pages for Down and Dirty Networking. And stay tuned every Wednesday afternoon between 3:30 and 5:30 p.m. Central. Sometime in that time, we go live. Sometimes I'm by myself or I have a guest like I did last week with Brenda. And we discuss a topic like this so you can have more meaningful conversation. So stay tuned. I will see you next Wednesday for another edition of Networking Know How. And until next Wednesday, happy networking.